Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders universe is shaking, and the rumor mill is spinning like never before. Dan Quinn, the head coach, reportedly lost his composure after what sources describe as an intense practice session, and his reaction has sent shockwaves through the locker room and beyond. Insiders are whispering that the confrontation reached a boiling point with star wide receiver Terry McLaurin, a player who has been integral to the team's offensive strategy for years. According to those close to the situation, Quinn's frustration was not about a single mistake, but a culmination of ongoing tensions that had been quietly simmering under the surface. Coaches and players alike are reportedly stunned by the intensity of Quinn's outburst, which insiders say was loud enough to echo through the facility, leaving teammates in a state of disbelief. The coach allegedly made it explicitly clear that McLaurin will not play for me anymore, a statement that, if true, marks a dramatic rupture in the relationship between the team's leadership and one of its most prominent athletes. Such a declaration is almost unheard of in professional sports, especially involving a player of McLaurin's caliber, and immediately, questions about the team's future dynamics started to circulate among fans and analysts alike, generating an intense media storm around the Commanders organization. Observers are now dissecting every possible angle of this reported fallout between Quinn and McLaurin. Social media platforms have exploded with speculation, with hashtags trending that reference both the coach and the star receiver, indicating a fan base that is deeply invested and increasingly anxious about the implications. Sources suggest that tension has been quietly brewing for months, stemming from disagreements over play calling, practice intensity, and perhaps deeper philosophical clashes regarding team culture and leadership style. Sports insiders are pointing out that while Quinn is known for his fiery temperament, this particular incident is unusual even by his standards, suggesting that the underlying issues may be far more complex than an isolated moment of anger. Analysts are beginning to wonder whether this situation might trigger a larger shakeup within the Commanders, affecting not just McLaurin, but potentially altering the approach to personnel decisions, game strategy, and even off-season priorities. Meanwhile, fellow players are reportedly taking sides or remaining cautious in their comments, aware that any public statement could exacerbate the situation. The ripple effect is spreading quickly, reaching team management, league officials, and, inevitably, the broader NFL fan community, all eager to decipher what this could mean for the upcoming games and the morale within the locker room. The intensity of the alleged confrontation has also sparked a wave of retrospective analysis among sports commentators, who are reviewing past practices and games for signs of friction between Quinn and McLaurin. Some observers are revisiting moments where McLaurin may have appeared frustrated or disengaged, interpreting these instances in the light of the recent outburst. Meanwhile, insiders hint at private meetings behind closed doors, suggesting that the front office is urgently trying to mediate the fallout before it escalates into something unmanageable. The narrative emerging from these leaks paints a picture of a locker room in tension, where the normally disciplined routines are being disrupted by personal conflicts. Rumors are suggesting that this confrontation could influence trade considerations or roster adjustments, potentially sending shockwaves throughout the league if McLaurin's departure becomes a reality. Fans are reportedly dividing into camps, some defending Quinn's right to manage his team as he sees fit, others criticizing what they perceive as an overreaction, questioning how leadership can coexist with elite talent under such pressure. In this whirlwind of speculation, the media's coverage has intensified, with reporters on high alert for any hint of confirmation or denial from official sources, all while the rumor mill churns out countless theories and inside scoops, feeding the growing frenzy surrounding the Commanders' internal drama. The fallout from Dan Quinn's alleged outburst continues to dominate conversations within the NFL community, and sources indicate that the tension is far from dissipating. Rumors suggest that the locker room atmosphere has become increasingly strained, with players reportedly walking on eggshells, uncertain about when or if the next confrontation might occur. McLaurin's teammates are said to be caught between loyalty to their coach and support for their star receiver, creating an environment rife with whispered conversations and private debates about the team's future direction. Front office executives are reportedly evaluating contingency plans, weighing the impact of McLaurin's potential exit against the long-term vision for the Commanders. Analysts are speculating about possible trade scenarios, league-wide repercussions, and how Quinn's decision might influence negotiations with other players who may question the stability of their own positions. Fans, meanwhile, are taking to social media in droves, posting reactions that range from outrage to cautious optimism, creating a digital cacophony that reflects both concern and curiosity. The narrative being shaped is one of dramatic tension, a story that transcends the field and penetrates the very identity of the Commanders as a team, leaving observers eager for confirmation, clarification, or any official acknowledgement of the alleged events. Speculation is mounting over how the alleged rift might affect the Commanders' on-field performance, with insiders suggesting that even a single high-profile conflict can ripple across all aspects of team dynamics. Reports hint that practice sessions following the incident have been noticeably more subdued, as players navigate a delicate balance between focusing on strategy and avoiding further provocation. Sources claim that assistant coaches are struggling to maintain cohesion, tasked with keeping morale intact while addressing potential fractures in relationships that were once considered solid. League analysts are poring over game footage, looking for evidence of subtle tension between McLaurin and other offensive players, hypothesizing about whether missed routes, communication errors, or uncharacteristic penalties might be symptomatic of deeper discord. The media frenzy surrounding the Commanders has intensified, with podcasts, news outlets, and social media influencers dissecting every statement, every glance, and every potential signal from both Quinn and McLaurin, amplifying the rumor into a full-blown narrative. Meanwhile, fans are inundated with conflicting information, creating an atmosphere where speculation is treated as news and every minor detail is scrutinized for meaning. The tension, real or perceived, has transformed a single alleged outburst into a story with implications that could shape the trajectory of the entire season. Insiders are now hinting at potential long-term repercussions beyond just McLaurin's status with the team. Rumors suggest that Quinn's reputation as a disciplinarian could either be reinforced or questioned, depending on how management addresses the situation. Analysts speculate that league executives might intervene behind the scenes, mediating discussions to prevent a public relations disaster that could overshadow the Commanders' season. Some sources claim that other players are quietly voicing their opinions to management, expressing either concern about Quinn's methods or support for his firm stance, creating an internal debate that could influence future coaching decisions. Meanwhile, the fan base is divided, with social media commentary reflecting a broader cultural conversation about leadership, respect, and talent management in professional sports. Every detail, from practice reports to post-game interviews, is being analyzed through the lens of the alleged conflict, creating a pressure cooker atmosphere around both Quinn and McLaurin. The narrative emerging is one where leadership decisions are under intense scrutiny, player loyalty is questioned, and the very identity of the Commanders is being publicly debated, feeding a rumor cycle that shows no signs of slowing down. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. Whispers of possible trade talks have begun to circulate, with sources suggesting that teams across the league are monitoring the situation closely, ready to make a move should McLaurin become available. Speculation includes potential blockbuster trades, draft considerations, and strategic shifts that could fundamentally alter the Commanders' roster. Some insiders suggest that Quinn's declaration could serve as a warning to other players about expectations and discipline, while others argue it might provoke unintended consequences, eroding trust between the coach and his team. Social media commentary is flooded with fans theorizing about which franchises might benefit, which players might capitalize on the uncertainty, and how this alleged rift could impact playoff prospects. Analysts are dissecting past seasons, looking for signs of tension and trying to contextualize this moment within the broader arc of the team's culture. Rumors suggest that even front office communications have become cautious, with emails, meetings, and public statements carefully crafted to avoid further inflaming the situation. The swirling speculation is building a narrative that extends beyond a single player or coach, turning the Commanders' locker room into a focal point for discussions about leadership, loyalty, and the fragile balance between talent and temperament in the high-stakes world of professional football. Media outlets are reportedly in a frenzy, with reporters attempting to verify every fragment of information coming out of the Commanders organization. Insiders claim that official statements are deliberately vague, fueling further speculation as journalists, bloggers, and podcasters dissect the wording, tone, and timing of each message. Social media reactions have turned into a battleground of opinions, with some defending Quinn's authority and others criticizing what they see as an overreaction. The story has become a real-time narrative experiment, where every rumor is amplified, analyzed, and reinterpreted, often before any official confirmation is provided. Observers are also speculating about how this alleged fallout might affect contract negotiations, future coaching decisions, and the broader perception of the Commanders as a stable franchise. Analysts point out that the implications are not just immediate but could resonate for seasons to come, influencing player retention, recruitment strategies, and the overall culture within the team. This kind of internal drama, whether fully accurate or partially exaggerated, captivates audiences precisely because it combines human conflict with professional stakes, creating a compelling narrative that sports fans and casual observers alike find irresistible, keeping the story alive and constantly evolving in real time. As the story continues to unfold, insiders suggest that the real consequences may only become clear over time, as the Commanders navigate upcoming games, practice sessions, and potential league interactions. Rumors hint at continued negotiations behind closed doors, attempts at reconciliation, and the possibility of temporary resolutions designed to prevent further disruption. Analysts emphasize that both Quinn and McLaurin are high-profile figures whose actions will be scrutinized for years to come, and any misstep could have long-lasting effects on reputations, fan loyalty, and organizational stability. Meanwhile, social media remains a hotbed of speculation, with each new post or comment potentially fueling fresh waves of analysis, debate, and rumor. Fans are monitoring injury reports, playtime decisions, and interviews for subtle hints about whether the alleged conflict has affected strategy, chemistry, or morale on the field. Every small detail is magnified, interpreted, and woven into an ongoing narrative that blends fact, rumor, and conjecture, creating a story that evolves hour by hour. The alleged rift between Quinn and McLaurin has transformed from a single emotional incident into a defining storyline for the Commanders, shaping perceptions of leadership, team dynamics, and the unpredictable drama that makes sports more than just games. It makes them stories that live in real time, captivating audiences and keeping them guessing at every turn. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.